Hey Anthony, do you like my new shirt?
Sure, man. It's cool. Could have been better.
What was that?
I said it could have been better.
You want to fight about
Yeah,
it?
I do. Let's go, chump. Hold on a second. We don't need to fight.
We don't?
All you need to do is go to 86.com and choose from one of their many designs. Franchises range from Skullgirls to Street Fighter and even BlazBlue. And if you check out 86 through this Twitch channel, use 86.com /AFF equals 4 to let them know that Mission Star Podcast sent you. So we're going to go into our next thing, and usually we'll have Greg here talk about the Overwatch Minute, but he's going to talk about the games he's been playing, both for Witcher Reviews 4. So I don't really have a segment for this per se, but
I'll just start going.
Yeah.
So you guys may have noticed I wasn't here for the last podcast, and I wouldn't have been here for this podcast, but we're recording on a different night. I wanted to play Gears 5 and then subsequently Borderlands 3. So I'll start with Gears 5. It'll be my review, and I'll try to be as spoiler-free as possible for anybody who hasn't played it or hasn't beaten it at this point. But this game got huge reviews. Like, people fucking loved it. And I am in the goddamn minority on this one.
Oh.
I'm a huge Gears fan. I really, really fucking am. I've been playing it since the first game. I bought it day one. And then when Gears 2 came out, I bought the special edition. I think I actually bought the special edition of Gears 1 because I had the tin. And then with Gears 3, I bought the special edition because I had the fucking Marcus Phoenix statue up there. This isn't to say that that's why, that's proof I'm a Gears fan. I'm a Gears fan. I've been playing it for a very long time. Very long time. I still to this day say that the best multiplayer they ever had was in Gears Judgment. Gears of War Judgment, where it was half the team was Locust and the other half was Cog Soldiers.
Yep. Good times.
Fucking love that. It was so much fun. So going into Gears 5, I was really excited because I actually liked the story to Gears 4. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was...
Oh, hell yeah. That was great.
Yeah, like a lot of people kind of gave it shit because they were like, oh, they're trying to take more of a serious tone. And I'm like, did you guys play 3 at all? But I was really, really disappointed with 5. Really disappointed with 5. So there are 4 acts in the game, whereas that's different because usually it's 5.
Which is weird because 5 doesn't have 5. What?
Right. There'd be somebody in the comments where like, well, technically it's the 6th game, so meh.
Yeah, well, technically, fuck you.
Right. So the way this game plays out is that the first act you play as JD and Dell from the 4th game. JD being Marcus Phoenix's son and Dell being JD's best friend. Sorry, Dell being JD's best friend. I think I said that right or wrong. It doesn't matter. I said it right the second time.
We'll fix it in post. Fuck it.
Yeah, whatever. And the first act is 100% Gears of War. It is, we think we're okay, we're not, now we have to fight through the city, yada, yada, yada. It's great. It has a climactic end to the first act, which is really cool. And then it cuts. And then it goes into Act 2. And it slows way the fuck down. Now, I know that Gears games in the past have had slow moments. You know, you think about like back to Gears 2 when everyone's walking through the underground area and you come across that giant emulsion waterfall walking towards a temple. You don't fight anyone for a hot goddamn minute because you get to take in that giant scenery. Or in Gears 3, about halfway through the game, when you're walking towards a group of people that were in a city that was hit by the fucking giant space laser, the Hammer of Dawn, and you're not fighting anybody for a solid fucking 10 minutes. There are moments in Gears where things slow down. And that was fine in this. And you're walking through the city, and I just kept thinking, like, well, that's a barrier I'm going to have to go up against, so I'm going to go back through the city and fight. It was a little too transparent, but I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. And then you fight through the city. And if you play it through 4, you know that Kate has the she has like a locust DNA in her. Well, it's revealed that she can, in a sense, commune with the locust. So player 1, as Kate, gets taken by a snatcher, and she can then start controlling the locust horde, or sorry, the swarm horde. And she, like, literally, she is shooting other swarm at, like, but inside the mind of one of them, whatever. And what's Dell doing? Fucking nothing. He's just, whoever's playing Dell is just playing the game as normal. I had absolutely no fucking clue this was happening to my friend. Now keep in mind, I played this entire game as Dell. And I learned something that really, really, really irritated me about playing this game with in second player. Or if you're third player and you're playing as a goddamn robot, you're playing as Jack. You don't get the experience that the first player person gets, period. Dumb. There's a moment in the game, I won't say when, but you walk through a door. And it was one of those co-op doors that both players have to kind of pull open. And after you go inside, there's a moment where Kate kind of walks off camera and Dell starts talking and he turns around and is like, or I'm talking to myself. And what I saw was Dell walk over to Kate, kind of just standing plainly in a room, looking at a wall, just like blank-faced. And then he touches her on the shoulder, and she's just like, what the hell? She turns around, and he's like, you all right? And she's like, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Let's finish the mission. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And I kind of chuckled about him saying, I guess I'm talking to myself. And I mentioned that to the guy I was playing with. And he was like, oh, I was watching like this whole cutscene inside her head where it was all red and like somebody was speaking to her. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Why do you get to see that, not me? That's bullshit.
That's fucking story element. It was so weird. I was like, are they dependent on the idea that the first person player is telling the first or the second and third players what's happening? Like, what compelled them to do this type of right? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And what's even worse is that there's a big moment in the game, a huge cutscene that's clearly a fucking cutscene where it goes inside Kate's head, and I get to fucking see that. Ugh, that bothered the hell out of me.
It sounds like they're trying to innovate something in the game,
and then failed miserably.
And it comes off as confusing. It kind of reminds me of the co-op in Dead Space 3, where one player was Isaac, and you don't get the visions or anything he gets in the game. But then the other player, I forgot his name, I think it was Jacob. But like for Jacob, like he would hear just like voices in his head, or like he would see stuff that the other player wouldn't see. And then, you know, you guys would talk to one another. It's like, did you see that? It's like, no, I didn't see anything at all.
If you're doing a story heavy driven game, which Gears of War 5 is, there doesn't seem to be a logical reason to do that, because I had an entirely different experience than my friend, and I don't have the time to go through the game again. I just don't. So I had to rely on my friend telling me what was happening.
I disagree with you. Shouldn't be doing that if they actually implement it properly. If both sides are actually getting story, I could see how that would be fine. But it sounds to me like they didn't do that. They were just kind of like, well, somebody's got story and fuck everybody else.
That's exactly what it feels like, because Kate never says to Del, like, I had a vision, here's what I saw. That never happens. I literally had to ask my friend, what did he see? That's not
weird.
good.
That's weird.
Anyway, moving past that, the open world part, they did open world for Gears 5. Spoiler alert, what the fuck ever. They did open world. This is the weakest open world I have ever experienced. Is it beautiful? 100%. It is gorgeous. It is serene and like the landscape looks awesome. It is executed so poorly because, in my opinion, this is obviously my opinion when I say it like that, when you only have a certain amount of main missions and then the side quests are something that you can stumble upon and completely miss by accident? Are you... What? You could beat this game on easy in 5 hours. Blind. If you didn't do any of the side quests. Literally, you're on this skiff. And again, this world, I don't get sometimes, like, what, like, hey, let's have a really awkward controlling device that uses wind power when we have giant fucking vehicles that you could use. Literally in the last act, a guy had a goddamn motorcycle, but whatever, we'll be on a wind-powered skiff. Because
reasons.
No other options. Oh, and by the way, second player and third player, just so you know, you don't get to do anything. Does it look like Del has a turret? No, he has a tagging device. Literally in the third act of the game, we're towards the end, and my friend goes, I think it's really funny that we've had this turret on this thing this entire time and you've never had to shoot it. And I was like, because it doesn't shoot. He was like, what? And I was like, it tags things. And I was like, yeah, it fucking tags things. Like, that's stupid. And I'm like, uh-huh.
No.
So when you tag something, it just means that you can let the player know, hey, shoot this?
No, it's to say, hey, let's head over there.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not even useful in that way. Holy shit.
Yeah, so the idea is that not only are there side quests in the open world that you can go to, which take like maybe 10 minutes to complete, but also there are like points of interest. Like there's a fucking broken down barn, or there's a spot where there might be a component for Jack. And that's all that's in the open world, by the way, is a few side missions, like 7 total, and which take really like 10 minutes tops, 10-15 minutes at best, and then all the collectibles and components for Jack. That's all that's in the open world. Everything else is barren.
Is the side quest worth it, or contribute anything to the story?
Yes, I will attest that the side missions are worth it, because you do get to upgrade Jack fully, and when he's fully upgraded, he's a badass, especially if you have a third player playing as him. But my problem is that you could have done more with the open world. There could have been more to do, or just not have done it at all, and had like in each level there's a thing you can find to upgrade Jack, and it's like kind of off the beaten path. That would have been fine. You
really didn't need an open world experience.
You didn't. You absolutely didn't.
It's fucking Gears. It's not supposed to be open world. It's supposed to be, I'm gonna go kill shit.
So yeah, that was a major issue. The story was mostly fine until the last act. And the last act had something in there that my friend and I just went, what the fuck was the point of that? What in the fuck was the absolute point of that? It didn't do anything. It doesn't change anything. And hell, it fucking complicates the 6th game a lot.
Huh.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you because it is a massive spoiler. If you guys want me to tell you after done recording, I can tell you. It is a huge spoiler. But people are going, it's brilliant and it's fucking smart for storytelling. And I'm like, the fuck it is? I have analyzed storytelling in multiple facets in my life. I cannot, for the fucking life of me, figure out why they chose to do this.
Because I hate people.
And I don't get why people are giving this game fucking 9s. The open world is boring.
Okay, time out. Who's giving it 9s? Because that'll answer that question.
A lot of reviewers on
Okay,
Metacritic.
like,
and not just
okay.
reviewers, but like user reviews too. Like people
Users
on
are
Twitter,
dumb.
What's that?
Users are dumb. Fuck them. No,
I
honestly,
can list you a number of outlets here in a second.
Yeah, but like user reviews, always take those with a grain of salt and probably knock it down by 2 if it's above a 5. Simply based on the fact that anybody that is giving it like a huge fucking score is probably already a fanboy of that particular game already. Like that's just
fanboy of
real.
Gears, for fuck's sake.
It's kind of my point. Like you don't have an unbiased view at 100%. Most people will not look past it. The fact is that you do reviews all the time. Most users do not.
So I'll link you.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
You're kind of a special case because you're a little bit of A, a little bit of B. But most user reviews are going to be just from the I'm a huge fan of them. I love what they do, and it's either going to be fucking amazing or it's going to be complete garbage because it's not exactly what I wanted.
Mm-hmm. So I got the list here. I just put it in the group chat. Just going down the list of like the 9s that are for Gears 5. Xbox achievements, Gaming Trend, Game Beat, Shack News, Twin Infinite, Screen Rant, Critical Hit, IGN, Power Up, Game Informer, Hardcore Gamer, EGM, Games Radar Plus, Game Revolution, Daily Star. There's a lot of GameSpot. There's a lot of the lowest score I've seen is PC Gamer N that gives it a 6 out of 10.
Honestly, PC Gamer is probably the only one that you've listed there that I'd actually listen to.
And here's the thing, I'm shitting on this game a lot, and I here's the positives. Let me give you the positives. It's horde mode and escape mode, and multiplayer. Even though I'm not a big fan of the multiplayer, but it does work really well. Are great. The controls are fucking top notch. They arguably have not been better than this. I mean, they don't feel clunky in the fucking slightest. I feel like everything that I'm doing is me. I have no complaints in that department. Again, the game is fucking gorgeous. I mean, it really is just beautiful. But, you know, much like a hot girl who's an airhead, you can only take beauty so far. I don't know if that was sexist, but whatever. Yeah, it's mainly the story that bothers me. It's mainly the story and the open world aspect that really bothered me. Like, my friend and I were really bored playing the game originally, and then we started doing side missions, and we're like, oh, the game's slightly more fun.
I don't understand why they would drop in an open world for it. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's no reason or need for that, and I don't think anybody was asking for it. Like, isn't the point of Gears, and it's, to be fair, it's been a while since I've actually played through a Gears game, so correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the point of Gears kind of like the world's gone to shit and we're just trying to fix it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why the fuck do we need an open world for that?
I don't know, man. Well, that's the other thing about Gears of War is I feel like when you talk about something like, let's say, Fast and the Furious, what the fuck is Fast and the Furious? Hot people driving hot cars. Done. Stop. Full stop.
Yeah.
Why would you mess with that at all? To try something new? I'm okay with trying new shit. You wanted to tell a story in Gears where the main antagonist is only playable from the last game, is only playable for the first chapter or for the first act of the game, and then it takes a tonal shift. I'm cool with that. Kate's story and what she has to go through is legitimately fascinating. But to tell it in such a way that makes the game boring fucking blows my mind.
So I have to ask this, because I've not played the game yet, and I have downloaded. I don't know, not to be the type of person. For fans of the genre or fans of the game, would they still enjoy the game as is, or would they run into the same problems as you, Greg?
It depends, man. Like, it depends on how much they give a shit about the story and the franchise. It depends on how, like, what I don't, because that's the thing is I don't want to be that guy that's like, I don't want Gears to be like this. That's not what I'm trying to do. I don't want to be that guy. Because that guy is a fucking idiot. But when it comes down to will somebody enjoy it? Possibly. Likely. It seems like people are. But when I play Gears of War and I go into a mission and I'm doing something in that mission, I expect to be playing a video game and not just running through it because I fight 7 people total.
Okay. It's interesting to hear you say this because, like, I've been listening.
Like I'm the only one.
Yeah, it's funny enough. The person that I listen to a lot through the various game podcasts I listen to, you align with Jeff Gerstmann, like from Giant Bomb. It's just like, oh wow.
Anthony, we said in the past a long fucking time ago that if I worked for GameSpot when Kane and Lynch came out, I might likely have been fired.
Wow. No, it's kind of crazy you hearing this, and you're echoing kind of the same thing as what he's been saying. The open world was just kind of out of left field. Not sure why it was put in there. He said it was like the most disappointing Gears game he's played, and he loves Gears. So it's kind of. I mean,
you need to send me that because I want to hear what he has to say.
Oh, absolutely.
If it's identical to what I'm saying, that I feel a little bit more justified.
A game journalist or game reviewers align with me.
My friend and I, we were just sitting there just going like, this is easily the most disappointing Gears game we've ever played.
Wow.
And we've been again, and that's the thing. That's tradition with him and I. We've played every single Gears game together. We've started it and beaten it together. Mm-hmm. And there would literally like he has 3 kids now. I have a full-time job with both doing school and DoorDash. So we don't have a ton of time like we did in the past. So we were finding time. We were making time. We were making small sacrifices to make sure that him and I could beat the game together. There were ample times where I could have beaten the game without him and vice versa, but we intentionally found time to play it together. And we at the end we were just both like, this is the worst experience we've ever had with Gears.
Wow. That's crazy. I'm now very curious to see how my playthrough of that game is going to feel like now.
I feel like if you're playing through it single player, it's one thing. If you're playing through it with 2 or 3 people, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah, single player, you might have a better experience. I mean, again, like I tell people, like I played the first act as Jack, and then I played the rest of the game as Dell. Mm-hmm. I went back and played. No, that's not true. I played the first chapter as Jack, and then I played the rest of the game as Dell because, like, the night it came out, we had another buddy on, and he was playing as Dell. But we only played for like 2 hours total, and we were also like taking a lot of breaks for stupid ass reason. So I'd say about a solid fucking 95% of the game I played as Dell. But regardless, I didn't play as Kate at all. At fucking all. Kate or JD. So I will say this. One of my absolute favorite parts of the game, favorite things of the game, Raul Cooley plays a guy named Foz. Foz is hilarious. He's this like kind of know-it-all asshole who shows up, and he has like this history with the COG and just kind of being in general douchebag. And there was a situation that happened that they allude to in the first game, but there was a protest of sorts against the COG, and there was a shot fired into the crowd, which caused more firing to be shot into the crowd. And when Dell is confronting Foz about it, Foz goes, "Yeah, well, every herd needs a culling." I was like, "Oh my god!" So yeah, I fucking love Foz. There's a great line at the end with him and Marcus where Foz throws out his opinion, and Marcus goes, "It's Foz, right?" "Yes, sir, it is." "Well, shut the fuck up, Foz." And he just goes, "Yes, sir."
That's great.